honestly, this video, I just thought we'd have a little catch up, and the purpose of this video can just be me catching everyone up on what's happening currently with marathon training specifically, because I know there's quite a few runners now who've ended up following the channel, so I thought you might be interested to know how it's all going. I have 8 weeks to go. I actually can't believe it's gone that quick. Wild. I've started to like get a little bit, I don't know, like last Friday I finished my long run. It kind of left me feeling after, I was like, oh, I don't feel the freshest I felt after a long run. Is it because of the heat? Did I drink enough water? I was just kind of questioning like my fueling strategy, because I didn't feel that fresh after that long run. It just got me feeling like, oh god, how am I gonna feel after I've actually done the marathon? Oh, and then that got me a bit nervous. I don't know why the nerves entered the chat at that time. I think it's just that thing of, I just want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can in my training to make sure that I'm as prepared as possible. I think just because I felt a bit rough after, and I was like, oh, maybe it was the electrolytes, did I drink enough water? I think that just got me feeling a bit angsty. But besides that, everything's been going really well in marathon training. I have been really getting on with my marathon training plan really well. I haven't missed a run, so that's good. And every run that I have done, I've managed to complete with the purpose of the run, so I haven't needed to walk. I've kept to like my paces and everything. Generally speaking, things are going well. I just think it's like, because it's getting closer, that's natural, right, to feel a little bit nervous about it. Yeah, if you're training for something, how are you feeling, and how do you feel 8 weeks out? Do you get this type of like nervous feeling? With 8 weeks to go, I've got my longest runs on my training block so far. This week I'm running 26 kilometres long run. A couple of the longer runs on the last one's 31 kilometres and one's 34 kilometres. I'm guessing like that's around like the 20 mile to 22 mile distance. I've been watching a lot of YouTube about running and trying to learn as much as I can. And there's a lot of debate on how many 20 milers you should do, or whether you should be running post 3 hours, post 3.5 hours. Yeah, a lot of information to take on, but I'm just going to stick to my plan and keep seeing how I feel. Obviously, I want to make sure that the closer I get, yes, we are going to have peak week. We're going to have that 1 week where it's the highest mileage that I've done and everything feels so tired. I know that's coming, but hopefully past that point, I want to feel as fresh as I can towards marathon day. Fresh as I can. As fresh as anyone can towards marathon day. We'll just see how things go, and that's been my whole approach of this particular training block. Just take 1 week as it comes, one run as it comes. I'm really focusing on my recovery as well. Because I'm training on the Runner app, I was speaking to the virtual chat on there because I was talking about the Great North Run, which is in 2 weeks' time. The Great North Run's in 2 weeks' time. We talk about the Great North Run and obviously how it's like a B race in my training block. Like, it's a race, but it's not the main event. It's not like why I'm doing this training block. Just talking about before I do that, even though I'm not going to go to the Great North Run trying to race it, I'm not going to try and go for like a PB or anything. I'm actually using the Great North Run as a training run and to soak up the vibes. Every time I see that event, I'm like, oh, I wish I could go and do that. And this year I finally am. And it's just like, I need to soak it up. If anything, I want it to go slower. I want to soak up every minute. I don't want it to, you know, be something that I'm in a pain pit for or trying to do as fast as possible. I really just want to soak it up. So we were talking about that. The lovely lady on Runner talking back to me was like, how's everything going? How's your recovery? I was briefly telling her about my lifestyle, and obviously I'm running, but I'm dancing, and I'm trying to do the strength training and the mobility, and yeah, she just sent me back an article being like, take a read about this, about recovery, and I was like, I love you and I appreciate you and I totally understand where you're coming from, because I think straight away she was like, oh my god, like, when are you getting time to rest your legs? I am honestly taking recovery very seriously. After I've taught class, I'm always taking a bit of time before bed to stretch, just so I know my body's in some sort of tangible state the next morning. I just need to continue over the next 8 weeks, just remaining very vigilant, if that's the right word. Like, really honing down on the nutrition, making sure I'm fueling my body right, making sure that I'm recovering right, making sure that I'm stretching, making sure that I'm getting enough sleep. All these things, because things are only going to get harder from here. So I need to just make sure that I'm giving myself the best shot of performing the very best I can. And I think this is the beautiful thing about marathon training as well. I have a friend called Heidi. I don't know if she watches the channel, but Heidi, if you do, send him all my love. She was out running with her mum the other day, which I love to see anyway. That's so wholesome. And she was just saying after the run, she was almost trying to not compare herself to other people's times or distances, or why am I only running this when other people are running that. That's the beautiful thing about running. It's you versus you. Genuinely, maybe this is just me speaking anyway, I would like to think that nobody cares what anyone else is running in terms of their distance or how fast they're going or the pace or anything like that. For me, when I see someone else run, I'm just like, you're just out here, getting out here for yourself for whatever reason. And I think that's amazing. I think we all just have to remember that. I could sit here and be like, the marathon's coming up. There's going to be people that run it 3:45. I'm like, not that fast if I run it 4 hours or 4 hours 15 or 4 hours 30 or even 5 hours. But the end of the day is running a marathon is still a blooming hard achievement. Doesn't matter how long you run it in. I'm going to have so much admiration. Oh my God, it gets me emotional. I'm going to have so much admiration for people who are just stood there on that day. I'm going to look around and be like, they're doing it for someone they love. They're doing it for charity. They're doing it for themselves. They've been training for 16 weeks, 18 weeks, 22 weeks, and they're here. And we've got people of all genders, ages, races, like just showing up for themselves and for other people on marathon day. Isn't that special? And in that moment, like, who actually cares about pace? Like, the fact that everyone is there and they're setting out on this massive goal is just absolutely amazing. Oh my God, why did I get so emotional about that? I think that's just a bit of an internal thing of like, this is actually happening and I probably can't believe that's happening. And I think that's why I'm having a lot of feelings about it. Like I said earlier about being nervous, I think it's just becoming a little bit more real now. Oh God, there can't be any room for emotions on race day because that's just extra energy and we need all the energy we can get. Anyway, literally just done my skincare, put some mascara on, and now it's time to crack on with today and make a coffee. I am just in my car. I'm about to head inside the studio now. I've been having conversations with people recently and it's made me reflect on being kind to ourselves during working hard. It is tiring, but we have to just be kind to ourselves and keep showing up. Even when the doubt monsters come in, can I actually do this type feelings come in, whilst things may be tough and hard, we have to really amplify the positives. For me personally, those positives have been, I'm this far through marathon training and I'm not injured and things are going really well, and yes, I'm tired, but we're here and we're showing up and we're doing the best that we possibly can. It is the next morning and I am back in the office and I've just been having a good giggle to myself. Let me just put you down here. I've just been having a good giggle to myself. Roaming around the house this morning, having a little tidy up. There's just running things everywhere. I've got a race number for the Great North Run on the side. Sunglasses, running sunglasses everywhere. Just found an energy gel chilling like on the side. It's becoming my whole personality. Yeah, if you know, you know. I'm sure some people can relate. Just to finish this little 8 weeks to go update, in terms of the training plan, I'm really enjoying it. I'm doing a lot of cross training as well, naturally with dancing, but also doing strength and conditioning, Pilates and yoga as well throughout the week. And honestly, the mileage, it's not the highest mileage training plan, but it's really working for me. And especially, like I said, with the cross training, it's the perfect balance for me, and it seems to be working well, and I'm covering distance, which is the main thing. Naturally as well, you know, marathon training, the more you get into the plan or the training block, the more time it takes, because those long runs just keep getting longer. Just training takes a lot of time. Fitting it in your schedule can be really difficult. So again, if you're going through a training block and you're finding that it's taking a lot to balance everything else going on in your life, from work and social, and just finding the time to do everything, I'm really feeling that with you, honestly. I think that's probably one of the unspoken things about marathon training, just how much time it takes and how much time you have to put in around all the other commitments that you might have in your life. And speaking of time and time management, I've really started to cut out, I don't know why I did like a little Millie rock there. I've decided to cut out unnecessary things in my schedule. I'm trying to make my work life as productive as possible. I'm trying to limit my time on social media. And there's a couple of apps that have really been changing the game. So I thought I'd mention them here. It's a little bit random, but they've really been helping. Like, the fact that I'm gaining back time by using these apps is really helping put more time back into the things that matter, like my training or my recovery, or finding time to have downtime and be with the people that I love. So the first app is called Forest. It's a productivity app. You might have seen this again on other videos in my channel. I'll leave the link down below to Forest, but it's basically an app that you can have on that will block all other apps and that will enable you to have these deep work focused sessions. And the aim is, the more that you work and leave Forest as the app running in the background, you create trees, the trees become forests the more time you do it. So that's a really good app, Forest. The other app that I've recently discovered is called Opal. There is a free version of this, and there's also a paid version of this app as well. Again, I'll leave it linked below. But Opal is an app that specifically limits distractions through your phone in the apps that you use most or find most distracting. For example, social media. Through Opal, you can basically block apps for set amounts of time. So my blocks are currently on 10 p.m. at night till 6 in the morning, meaning that I can fully just shut off from 10 p.m, no social media, and that's helping me with my sleep routine as well, which is aiding my recovery for marathon training. You see where all of this links together. And again, limiting my social media time during the day. You don't actually realise how many times you log on. I'm sure everyone watching this video, being on YouTube, has social media. So you go on to reply to a message, you end up scrolling and looking at dog videos. It just happens. Opal is a really great app, and it's been really helping me in terms of limiting my time on really distracting apps like social media. The last app as well that I've been using, and I've been using this just before bed, is called Calm. Calm is a really lovely app where you can listen to different calming sounds such as meditations, noisescapes like rain sounds, for example, before bed, or what a vibe, or even just sleep stories and really relaxing, soothing sounds. If you're having really busy days and you're marathon training, you're working, and you just need that quiet downtime, I'd really recommend Calm. It's a beautiful app. And I hope that as well, if you download that and check out, I think there is a free version for Calm, but if you check out some of the sounds on there, the meditations, I hope that gives you some quiet time amongst all the craziness that is marathon training. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I really hope you've enjoyed this update. I will probably check in now as we get closer to the marathon. The next running related vlog that's coming up will be the Great North Run. I'm going to do a full weekend vlog where I take you all to Newcastle with me. We're going to go do the biggest half marathon in the world, which is just... I'm just so excited about it. I think I may have said this like too many times during this video, but it's only 2 weeks away now, and what an experience, and I feel very grateful that I get to go this year. But until then, I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and of course, if you haven't already, you know what to do. Go ahead, press that subscribe button so you can see future content and future videos to come. I really appreciate all of you coming to the channel and watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.